This is Erica from Special Ed Simplified, and I'm here to give you a tour of one of our vocational activities, Career Exploration, Finding the Job for Me. So one of the first things you're going to notice is this document has approximately 153 pages, which is why I want to go through it with you real quick. On this second page, you will note that we have some instructions, suggestions on ways to use the document and implement it with students. Of course, these are just our suggestions. Some of these suggestions are to complete this activity as a whole group. Maybe have students complete it as a bell ringer or an opening activity. To complete it as a transition assessment individually for students to learn more about the areas of interest. You will also see this career category list. These are the different categories we look at, as well as the abbreviation for each category. When administering the career survey, you will collect data using this scoring collection document. This document is approximately 3 pages long, and it is how, again, you will collect the data from the career survey. And here on the second page is also a list of the extra items you're going to find within the document. So let's go ahead and look at the scoring collection document. Across the top, you're going to notice the career categories, and down the side you will notice the page numbers. So each page number coincides with a career survey page. So let's go ahead and just look at page 14 to see what we have. Here you're going to find the first page in the career survey. Each page will have 3 different careers for the student to look at, to choose from, to decide what is the most interesting. The student will then check mark, circle, X, eye gaze, bingo dob, whatever their mode of communication may be, to answer the career interest that is the career that is the most interesting for the student. Under the different careers, you're going to see the list of the career categories, so that way you can mark it on the collection tool. So let's say your student selected cashier. Under cashier, you're going to see B&M, which is business and marketing. So if we go back to the career collection tool, the scoring collection tool, you would come here, page 14, over to business and marketing. And if you're just doing this with one student, you could put a tally mark. If you're doing this with multiple students, you could just list their initials, ever what works better for you. And then just simply go through the different career exploration survey questions with your students. I would not recommend completing this in one setting, because if you notice, there are several survey questions. So you are going to want to break it up and do chunks of it at a time with the student. Beyond that, you're going to find additional pages within the document. This one is where you will come and total each area, each career area category, and then determine a percentage. So for example, there are 11 different pictures relating to agriculture. So if the student selected 6 out of 11 agriculture pictures, that is approximately 54%. So you could write 6 out of 11 here, 54% here, and do that with each career category. That will give you the student's highest as well as lowest areas of interest. The reason I'm suggesting percentages is because each category has a different set of number of pictures. So if we go ahead and move to the, let's get there quickly or slowly. If we go ahead and move to the sample report that's available for you to use, you will see how many pictures that there are for each category. That will help you in determining the percentage for those 3 highest areas, as well as the 3 lowest areas of interest. Moving on from that, you will see we have job tour and asking questions. So if you are taking your students to tour different possible career sites, this is just a list of possible questions that they can ask while on the tour. The next document you're going to find is the job training evaluation. So your job trainer can list out the student's information, the dates that the training occurred, the job duties required of that site, and then go through and score the student. They may want to complete a job training evaluation at the beginning of the site and again at the end, maybe another one in the middle to determine the progress that the student has made. We have different numbers here, and the key is here at the bottom. So if you mark 1, it's because the student needs continuous prompting. As to where if you mark 5, it's because the student completes the task independently. The next document you're going to find is the career research, the career exploration research. This is a 2-page document. There is a link to 2 different websites. These websites come with video, they include videos. The videos will help the student in understanding things like the average starting salary or the typical education needed or such. So if the student has selected, let's go to Dr. Kidd's website. Let's say the student has selected animal care specialist, and they click on this. It will take them to a short video to watch, and then they talk about the career within the video, but then you're also going to find additional information here. So if the career area that they're looking at is animal care specialist, they would write animal care specialist here and then go through and answer the questions pertaining to that job as a basic research to understand more about the job itself. You will find information for each of the careers within this document, either here on this Dr. Kidd's career site or here on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics site. So both of those sites, again, are linked within the document to allow easier access. Let's move on. Here is a sample career exploration report. I have included an overview statement and then some generic statements that you may want to put as a summary of results under each career category. These may or may not be relevant to what your student has has indicated, but I was just trying to give you a few examples to look at. I did not include statements for all areas because, again, I'm just giving you samples. And again, you'll notice that we have the total number of pictures for each career category listed next to it. So you can write how many the student selected here within the document to determine those interest areas and to make some specific statements based on those categories. On down, I've given a generic analysis and recommendation statement. We would then list the students' preferred areas as well as ways to increase exposure and education to different areas that may be on the lower interest, and then a short little summary statement. Of course, this is just a sample, but it is something that I thought might be beneficial when completing evaluations and looking at transitions specifically. When we move on, you're going to notice this is where we start the actual surveys. Each survey page is set up the same. It begins with 3 different options. The student can then determine how they would be interested in learning more about their choice of options. So if they chose cashier, then how could they learn more about being a cashier? Maybe they could just ask questions or research it or touring the job site. But each of these answers could be selected. It's just what the student thinks might be the best next steps for him or her to explore that specific option. The basic question, is this an area of interest? And then here we can create a sentence. Being a cashier may be a fun job, or it may be a boring job. So they're just going to circle their preference. And I can learn more by, what did you choose? Did you choose asking questions? If so, write that. Did you choose touring the job? If so, write that. Whatever your answer happens to be is here in order to promote students' writing. And again, you're going to find several of these. They are all laid out the same. You may want to print these out, put them in a binder. Again, these could be completed as an opener at the beginning of a class activity. These could be completed as an assessment, one-on-one, whole group. It all depends on what works best for you and your students. And then the final set of documents you're going to find are the poster activities. So when you go to the poster activity, you will find a picture and the career area with a basic definition for each of the careers that we looked at in the surveys. So we're just giving the students a little more information, and then the students can also use these websites to respond to these questions. How do I become a greenhouse worker? Do I only need a high school diploma? Do I need a high school diploma and on-the-job training, or does it require college classes? What's the work environment? Is this indoor work, outdoor work, or both indoor and outdoor work? As well as the yearly salary range. So again, each of these posters include the title of the job, the name of the job, a picture, the definition, and some basic information, basic questions to answer pertaining to each job. Again, you're going to find a poster for each of the careers we're looking at. And the pictures in each of the careers were created using Canva. So if you need additional information on how to use Canva to create pictures, visit our website. We have a short video posted on our website under Digital Resources. If you have any other questions, please feel free to drop Christina or I either an email. Our email address can go to sales@priceandwilloughby.com, or it can be broken down specifically. Erica, ERICA, @priceandwilloughby.com, or Christina @priceandwilloughby.com. Thanks.